Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Reign coming to you from Bangkok, Thailand. And today we have with us a very, very special guest, Rasina Uberoi Bajaj.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Rasina is the managing director of the Bangkok International Festival of Dance and Music, which we are attending here in Thailand. Rasina, would you like to greet the people and introduce yourself?
Well, hi everyone. This is so exciting. I'm sure Jordan and Eden are going to talk to you through the festival. But yeah, we'd love to encourage everybody to come to Thailand and to come and see our beautiful country and have a chance to come and see some of our beautiful shows also.
Thank you so much for being on the channel with us today. We're so excited for the festival, of course. So would you mind telling us a little bit about it and what makes it unique?
Okay, so my father founded the festival 25 years ago, and he basically had retired from the publishing business, and he thought he wanted to give something back to the country where he made his money from. So he thought, well, I like dance and music, and why don't I just bring in some ballet for Thais to see, because they had never seen anything.
Yeah.
So it kind of started with that, and it started off with like one ballet show, and I remember it was a theater from Tashkent in Uzbekistan and performing Swan Lake. And we performed for 6 nights in a row at the Thailand Cultural Center. And I remember Sunday night I announced, and it was sold out every single day, and I made an announcement. I said, we're having one more show tomorrow as the last show. I made an announcement that night, and we were 70% sold on Monday. And remember, we didn't have social media those days.
Yeah.
So it was just by that announcement and word of mouth, and that's it. You know. So then he thought that, wow, there's definitely a market here.
Yeah.
People are very hungry for this kind of stuff. So then it started, and then this whole idea of the festival came, and at that point he approached our late king's sister, who was a big advocate of the arts, and she said she would love to be involved in promoting dance music and exposing Thais to the world of dance and music. So that's basically how it started. So it started with ballet, and then over the years, you know, we had some opera, we had some jazz. We used to have Thai artists, Thai pop artists. We tried all kinds of things. I wasn't working in the business then. It's a one-man show. It was a one-man show. I joined full-time about 5-6 years ago, but I grew up with it in the house, right? So that was a big learning experience because I'd never seen a ballet before. I think I went to 1 or 2 ballet classes, but it wasn't really, you know, something that I did or understand very much. But I learned over the years to come to appreciate ballet, and Swan Lake is definitely really is my favorite.
Another Swan Lake fan.
I can't run away from Swan Lake. I mean, Don Quixote comes like a second, but the music of Swan Lake is just something else. It's just
perfect. It's absolutely exquisite. I absolutely love the story and the heritage of the festival. It just takes one person, you guys. It's one person to make this big of an impact. That's incredible.
As this is an international festival, there will be companies from all over the world flying in to perform here in Bangkok. Would you like to introduce the lineup for this year of the companies?
So one of the goals that we have is, like, we always say that the arts has no boundaries, right? So the arts really brings everybody across the globe together, you know. So this year we've got Russian and Ukrainians performing together. Okay, so and then we've got an Israeli dance group. We've got the Chinese. We've got the Americans. We've got French, and everybody comes and performs together under one platform. You know, so the audience comes to appreciate music and dance and artists. You know, exactly. So that's why it's so beautiful. And somebody even asked me recently and said that, what do you love about the festival? I said, I actually just love going there and seeing the audience. You know, I get so happy when they're clapping and they're smiling, because everybody leaves happy. Of course, the biggest highlight of this year is the Bolshoi, right? So I mean, you know, it's taken us 15 years of negotiations and talking, and they're coming obviously for the birthday celebration of Our Majesty's 6th cycle anniversary, his 72nd birthday, which is a very, very big deal. We opened with Marie Antoinette,
which was lovely.
Which wasn't it? We've got the Novosibirsk ballet, which are coming, and they're performing Spartacus, and then of course 2 days later we've got Don Quixote. So that's super fun. And then on the third night we've got something really special, because we've got, in ballet language they call it divertissement. So it's like excerpts, right, from 7 different ballets, and then it'll be the 1-act Carmen Suite. I just remembered, I forgot our sweet Tokyo City Ballet who are going to perform the Nutcracker. Oh my God,
the best family-friendly ballet.
I know, that's number 1, and number 2, it's an Asian ballet group,
Yes.
and you have to understand Japanese with precision.
Oh,
so we,
absolutely.
we know everything is going to be on point. So that's all the ballets. We are always known for ballets, but this year was really super dance heavy.
Yeah.
Because we've got the two contemporary dance companies, Paul Taylor Dance Company from New York. They're actually performing a piece that was choreographed by Paul Taylor himself.
Oh, wow.
Then they've got another segment, Rush Hour. It's just life as a New Yorkan.
That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, and all played to like jazz musicians.
Of course.
So we know. So very New York.
Yes,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
New
so
York.
that we're really looking forward to that. And then we've got a contemporary dance group from Israel, which is more about structure, movement, fluidity. Every year for the festival now, we try to include what we call entry-level shows.
Exactly,
Something for the family or something where we can get people at least into the hall.
Yes.
And then we can graduate them to start watching
Exactly.
ballet, and
That's
then
so
finally
important.
the opera. So
Exactly.
this year we've got an ice series, I guess. So we've got Swan Lake on ice and then Peter Pan on ice. We're actually building the ice skating, I guess, rink on the same stage. So it's 14 tons of ice. Equivalent to, I'd say, 3 elephants. So
is
it's going to take
incredible.
4 days to freeze and all of that happen. So it's more like an ice skating show, figure skating show, and then infused with the storyline
Of the ballet.
and of the ballet. I don't know how I can ever forget, the Uzbekistan Symphony Orchestra, because this is a group of very young, talented musicians. And they are the president's orchestra, so they always are performing for the president. And they're actually coming to perform Mahler 5, and it requires a full 85-piece orchestra. So they're all coming in. And my
exciting.
operas. How could you forget?
How could we forget operas?
So because it's Puccini's centenary, so 100 years since his death, we're celebrating 2 of his main pieces. So La Bohème and Turandot. And it's being performed by the China National Opera House, but the soprano and tenor will be flown in from Italy in honor of Puccini. So now we've got an infusion of Chinese, Italians, and Thais working together. So again, bringing the world together. So that's the whole point, where you use the word unity in the beginning, and I thought that was perfect because that's really what the arts does. It unites us all together.
I love the versatility in the program, especially this year. We have an amazing lineup. This festival, clearly, as we've been talking about, is such a huge thing. It involves so many people and so many elements. Tell us a little bit about what went into making this big festival happen.
Well, usually we do lineups maybe 2 to 3, 5 years in advance, because most of the companies, they don't travel. People come to watch them in their home cities. So they may travel like once a year or something. So to get that schedule matched with ours, because the festival only runs in September and October. So we're limited to these 6 weeks. So to kind of get that bridge happening when we're scheduling and doing everything, to have the right balance of everything. You start off with all the big ballets, or we've even had Catherine Jenkins in the past also. We've had Jose Carreras also. So it's a lot of pre-planning in advance, and that helps us also. My dad is very busy with that time. He loves to do that. He loves to travel the world and go and watch operas and ballets, and he can watch 2 a day, 3 a
That's
day.
incredible.
Of course, we've got a dynamic team who now work 24/7. Who these days, we're constantly sending them messages. I'm like, okay, great turnout first day. We've got 6 more weeks. We're gonna fight in Thai. It's like Sue, we're gonna get going. We're gonna make this happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah, and it just somehow it's almost like autopilot. Because we've done it for so many years. So everything is documented. Every now and then we've got something new infused in. And then of course the lovely traffic in Bangkok that we have to manage. And this is peak monsoon season right now.
Yes,
also,
it is.
but Bangkok has so much to offer, and people love Thailand so much. I mean, people love Bangkok.
We love Bangkok.
So it's really an easy city to. It's not like we have to spend years to convince the artists or the groups to come to Bangkok. We've also been able to develop a really good reputation of treating our visiting companies really, really well, and they all want to return. Besides participating in the festival, everybody loves Bangkok. Everybody loves Thailand. They love the people. They love the food.
Everything is great in Bangkok, you guys.
I love it that Bangkok is like the hub where like all these artists come together. It's like this is the place to be if you want to enjoy arts and dance and music.
Yeah, well, this was the vision of the festival, right? To really put Bangkok on the cultural map of the world. We can compete with, the likes of New York and Paris and Vienna, and why not? We've got all of these big companies who are coming in and performing on our stage. So we've actually made that happen.
Now that we have talked at length about how amazing this festival is, how can our international international guests make plans to attend next year?
Well, the easiest thing would be we come out with a program fairly early, but you can rest be assured it's always, it'll start first week of September through to third week of October. Yeah, whilst you would have your favorites and you would think that, I want to coincide with this show or not, I'd say just book a trip to Bangkok and you'll get to see something.
You'll get to see something amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So book your flights far in advance.
Yes.
So at least you get good deals on your flights. Book your hotels. Hotels are not very expensive here. And you can always plan your trip because you can go to the south to visit our islands. You can go up north. You can go to the west. You can go to the east. So you can travel the whole country. And then whilst you're here, you can pin in the dates for the festival.
Yeah, the festival.
And you also get to see a lot of different companies from all over the world instead of having to, stay only
You're right.
in one
Travel
place.
to different countries. Yeah, you kind of come to Bangkok and then see all of this and then enjoy Bangkok also,
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and the other thing I really want to tell your audience is that, whilst people do come dressed up, you don't have to. It's super casual also, of course there are days, opening nights and stuff like that, where everybody comes dressed up, but most of the time it's super casual. Yeah, it's very laid back, you come in jeans and sneakers and stuff like that. It's unless you want to make a date night out of it.
Exactly.
Right.
And then in typical Asian Thai style, you've got lots of backdrops where you take your photo, lots of things to play around with, Instagrammable moments we call them. We've got best dress awards happening, so people can come dressed up. So there's lots of things going on. It's a whole evening. There was another thing that we introduced. I don't know if you guys know about it. We introduced something called the hospitality lounge. I actually ripped it off Formula One, but you know how you buy your ticket and then for a little bit of extra money, you can buy access to a hospitality lounge and you get free food and beverages.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So during the break, instead of waiting in line or you all go to that kiosk to try and buy a coupon to buy a glass of champagne or to buy some food, 20 minutes is up. But here you buy your ticket in advance, 20 minutes, you go straight into the lounge, you sit there, you eat, you drink for your full 18 minutes, 2 minutes, go to the loo, go back to your seat.
Isn't that the best way to spend your intermission?
Yeah, exactly, rather than waiting in a long queue.
You have really engineered the perfect arts experience for all the people that are coming to Thailand.
They even have these adorable, exquisite coffee table books, you guys. Look how gorgeous that is.
They have photos, they have the synopsis, they have all the information about all of the pieces. It's a whole work of art.
The whole thing is art.
Right down to the program, it's all art. We have one final question, and this is, what do you hope to see for the future of dance and music here in Thailand?
So along with the festival a few years ago, we launched something called the Student Outreach Program. So when the visiting artists come in, we provide master classes to aspiring students here who wish to study dance and music. We do free shows for underprivileged kids or for students who just will not have the opportunity to be exposed to the world of dance and music. Because one of the things that we're very, very serious about is that we need to teach young kids the art and the skill of discipline. And that is to be able to sit quietly for 40 minutes at a time without picking up the phone, picking up your iPad. It's just learning that skill of concentration, and I think this will really, really help them, through school, through university, through life, just to really be able to focus on something. So, trying to work with the Ministry of Education, in getting the younger kids to be exposed to this. So we offer the free performances for them, workshops, in the hope that one day we're going to have our Thai artists perform on an international stage. That is really, really the hope and the dream that we hope to achieve with this student outreach program is, to really improve the standard of dance and music in Thailand, to give an opportunity for these kids who are studying dance and music. Whereas, by the time they get to 15 or 16, the parents are like, okay, stop now. There's no future. You're not going to have a job, you're not going to get paid any money for this, But to really even show the parents that, look, there is a whole industry out there, and there's just not just for performers. It's backstage too.
That's
true.
There's a whole new world of jobs out there. We have a word in Thai which is to open the eyes of people here that the arts is not something that you do in playtime and in free time. You can actually have a profession out of it. So we really like to encourage that. We really want kids to continue to play instruments. The hand-eye coordination is so important for you. The exposure to dance and music builds creativity. And what's the number one skill that I look to? How do you think differently? How are you going to solve something differently than somebody else? How are you going to think outside the box to this solution? And that exposure to dance and music, that builds that little bit of creativity. And I think that's what kids need to have in their portfolio today, along with all the other subjects that you're required to do.
Right,
But
yes.
art is super important.
It is important, not just to for enjoyment, but also as personal development as well. I absolutely love that. The festival is not just for audiences, but also for the people, for the dancers, and for the students, and for young people who are growing up. So that's so special, and thank you so much for dedicating your life into making this happen.
Yes.
It's truly something that's very valuable, I think, in the world, and we really are excited to see it continue to grow and flourish and become bigger and bigger every single year.
Well, thank you, and I wanted to thank both of you really for flying out here to Bangkok and being with us and watching the shows with us, and we'd love to hear your feedback after this weekend of your thoughts.
Full commentary.
Yes.
Well, you guys, that was our super special interview with Rasina today. We really hope you enjoyed hearing about all the ins and outs of this beautiful festival.
And hopefully you're encouraged to book your tickets to Thailand and
Yes.
come partake, because this is such a special experience that we highly recommend to anybody.
Thank you so much, Rasina, of course,
Thank you.
for
Thank you very
being on the
much.
channel with us and for sharing the vision with the whole world and all of Ballet Nerds. We're so excited to celebrate this year's festival, as it is a very special one, the 26th anniversary. And of course, thank you so much for all the work that you do, hosting this festival and making it happen.
If you guys would like more information about the festival, there's a lot more on their website, www.bangkokfestival.com, as well as all of their social media platforms, which we will put here. We highly recommend you go check them out and you support the work that's being done here for the arts scene in Thailand.
And to any of you who are in the Bangkok area, there is still time, you guys, to get your tickets. Do not wait. The clock is ticking.
Yes.
Make sure you get your tickets and enjoy this incredible festival with all of us here in Thailand.
Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Reign signing off. Until the next video.
Bye.
See you all in Bangkok.
I love it.